Yeah, guys, please open your camera. Professor Rekha Prasad ma'am is there. So please join her. Yeah, guys, please open your camera.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
So guys, those who are just joining, I would like to just give a brief introduction to ma'am. Professor Rekha Prasad is a very renowned professor in India for operation management. And she is ex-professor from one of the prominent university in India, that is Banaras Hindu University. She is the ex-professor for operation and management, and she is a IIT Kharagpur alumni. So with this, ma'am, I will request you to continue with your students. And moreover, Professor Rekha Prasad, ma'am, is the program director. So final certificate you will get with her signature only. Yeah. So please interact and ask. Feel free to talk, and as much you will interact, she will be very happy to give the answer with her huge experience in the field of management. Yeah. So over to you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Neeraj. So, Shashi, this is a known face. Good evening, Shashi. How are you?
Yes, madam. Fine, ma'am. Good evening.
There are others. Pratisha. Pratisha.
Yes, ma'am. Good
Just
evening.
introduce yourself. Tell me something about yourself.
Ma'am, my name is Pratishtha Singh and currently I am a BA first year student pursuing BA History Honours from Mahila Mahavidyalaya May'22, and I am also a certified professional. I have completed 3-month professional and life skill course at Young Skill India, and now I am looking forward to this management course.
So what prompted you to join this course?
Ma'am, basically my main perspective behind joining this course is that I want to convert my non-professional degree into the professional degree by the management certification, and also I want to get the insight of the corporate world, that how it's work. So I joined this course.
Okay. All the best. I hope all your dreams are fulfilled.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bushra Siddiqui. Bushra Siddiqui, open your camera.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am,
One by one, tell me something about yourself, Bushra.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening. Myself, Bushra Siddiqui. Currently, I am pursuing my sociology honors from Banaras Hindu University. I have completed my specialization course through YSI in HR, and I'm looking forward to this class.
Okay. So you're doing in psychology?
Sociology, ma'am.
Sociology. That is one of a very important area, because this is something which you are dealing with the human lives. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Then let us move to Anka Rao.
Ma'am, I want to share something.
Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, actually, it's my start time. Like, I'll have to break my fast, so I cannot open my camera for 15 to 20 minutes, if you allow me to do so. Otherwise, I'll have to eat in front of everyone.
Okay, okay. It's all right.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Now Anka Rao.
Yeah, hi ma'am. This is Shankar. I am working as a senior developer at CTS. So I have joined this program to increase on the management side. So how to lead a team or how to manage the team, or to promote myself or to get master degree, so that I can work on the management side. So how can I manage all the things or the teams or with the client calls?
So from where have you done your graduation?
So I have completed my PG from Hyderabad, Vasavi College of Engineering. I am from AP, Andhra Pradesh.
Andhra Pradesh. Okay.
Yeah.
Shreya Rai.
Good evening, ma'am. My name is Shreya. I have completed my master's in psychology from Banaras Hindu University, and currently I'm pursuing a course from BSI in digital marketing. And the reason why I chose this course is that I'm trying to build my own market and build my own business based on art, craft, and psychology. So
you are trying to build it online or offline?
online, ma'am. Online.
Online.
Yes, ma'am.
So art craft. So what are the things which you have in mind?
Basically,
it is a very broad area.
Yes, ma'am. Currently, I'm working on creating prints, like prints for from small things to big things, like wallpapers, prints for T-shirts and things like that. And side by side, I'm working on hand paintings, hand painted canvas paintings.
Okay, all the best, Shreya. Let us move on. Prachi Pranbi Ghosh. Prachi.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. I am Prachi Pranavi, and I am pursuing my graduation from Vasant Kanya Mahavidyalaya, Varanasi. And I did my specialization in HRM from Young Skilled India. Yes, ma'am. That's it.
So, what are your dreams?
Ma'am, currently I am a BA third year student, and my honors is Ancient History and Archaeology. Further, I will go for MA as of now.
Hey, but along with your basic course, you are doing this particular management course. So, why have you done this?
This course was to enhance my knowledge on the side of management as well. Because just doing a degree sort of thing is not something I want to do in my life. Like management is something very important. That's why I moved for this course.
What have you learned in management till now?
Ma'am, I have my specialization in HRM. So I guess in HRM I learned so many things like performance management system, manpower planning. These are the terms I never heard before. So yeah, I enjoyed doing my specialization in HRM.
Okay. Let us move on to the next. Shreya is over. Shashi. Shivam has also come. Okay, so today we'll be doing the basics of operations management. See, operations management is the core area because whatever you are doing, it is an operation on anything. Either you are producing some good or you are going to give certain services. Because of that, marketing, HR, finance, because these are the four basic areas: finance, marketing, HR, and operations. So everything works for operations. Because why you are doing that? Why you need HR? Because you are going to do something. Either you are going to produce something or you are going to give a service. Whatever is your objective. But for that, you need HR team who look after the work. Required skills will be there. All those things, whatever is required. HR has to be there. Marketing has to be there. Because without marketing, it is an ongoing process. Everything is ongoing, cyclic. Like it is not that you produce once and then you forget about it. You have to market those goods. Then only you will get the return on your investment. Then again you invest in your business, and the cycle goes on. So marketing will play the role only if you have produced something. So operation is at the core of any business, whether you are in marketing, whether you are in HR, whether you are in digital marketing, whether you are in finance, whatever it is. Without operations, you cannot do anything. For that, for carrying out that operation, you need marketing, you need HR, you need finance, everything you need for that. So that is what we are going to study today. Okay. Let us. So today we are going to study what is operations management. So what is operations management? Operations management, or generally it is known as OM, is the administration of business practices to create the highest level of efficiency possible within an organization. See, you can do anything anyway, but here your aim is to do it in the most efficient and effective way. What does that mean? That means you are doing the right thing in the right direction. Then only whatever material you are using, that has to be utilized. Nothing has to be wasted. Because see, over here, there's a lot of competition. So aim of any organization is to give the best quality in the least cost. So how will you maintain that least cost? If you don't work efficiently, efficiently means you are doing it in a way that there is the least wastage. Whatever resources you are utilizing, you are using it fully. Nothing is being wasted. Waste means the cost will rise. Who will bear the cost? And finally, the consumer has to bear the cost. So you will be left behind in this competitive world. So here, our aim has to do the right thing in the right way. It is concerned with converting materials and labor into goods and services as efficiently as possible to maximize the profit of an organization. Any organization, what it wants to do is to maximize its profit. That is the goal of but at the minimum cost. These two things are dual: maximizing the profit and minimizing the cost. Like it is not, I won't be teaching you this, but there is a mathematical modeling which is known as linear programming. So in that we teach how to maximize your profit at the same time minimizing the cost. So these two things are related. Because if there is less wastage, you're doing it efficiently, you'll be maximizing the profit. And at the same time, you'll be reducing the cost. Operations management teams attempt to balance cost and revenue to achieve the highest net operating profit. The objective is to maximize the net operating profit. Now let us see what is operating profit. What is operating profit? A company's operating profit is its total earnings from its core business. It has some core business. Whether you are, suppose you are producing shirt, so that is your core business. Whether you are giving some service, like in an educational institution or a health organization, you are giving some service. You are giving the service to the patient. If you are in healthcare, you are giving education to the students who don't have that knowledge of that particular thing. You might be having, there are so many types of knowledge. You might be having A, but you don't have any knowledge about B, and you want to acquire that. So you go to educational institution. Over there, you are the material which is being enhanced. So whatever is the core, every business will have a core business for a given period of time. That is, for say, generally the financial year is taken from 1st April to 31st March. excluding the deduction of interest and tax. But operating profit is you exclude interest or any taxes which are paying. It also excludes any profit earned from ancillary investment, like suppose from some other source, not from your core business, from some other source. So you exclude that also. So that is your earning profit, and that is what you want to maximize. So this is operations management. See, you have to plan how to do the thing. Then what are the resources? Plan. Then what are the resources? Generally, what are the resources? Man, material, machine, capital, all these things are the resources. Then you see, oversee what will be happening in the future, what is happening today, all these things you have to take into consideration. Then you have to design both the cost, that it is minimized, and efficiency is maximized. Generally, it is some input you are giving, and then you are getting certain output. What strategies you will be following? Like suppose you dream, I don't know, you said something about artifacts. That is your dream, to sell that artifacts online. So how will you do about it? First of all, you will have to identify what will be your market, how to approach that market, how to convince the market to buy your goods. Until and unless they don't buy that, you won't be able to make profit, and you won't be able to proceed with your. So whatever strategies you take, strategies is long-term planning. Then how do you produce that? Whether you're producing goods or services, what will be the algorithm of producing that goods? Then the control. Once you have made the planning, you have to see it. You have to keep on monitoring it and see it is going according to your plan. If it is not going according to your plan, then what is the reason? And if the reason can be solved, immediately solve it. So all these things, then what are the requirements? Or you can say the inputs or the resources, what are the requirements? For every good or service, the requirements will vary. Some will require more money, some will require less money, some will require one type of equipment, other will require another type of equipment. So you have to be specific to what you require to produce whatever you are planning to produce.
मैम प्लीज स्क्रीन शेयर कीजिए ना, हमको कुछ दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है।
स्क्रीन नहीं दिखाई दे रहा अभी तक? तो आप लोग अभी तक बोले क्यों नहीं?
हम दिख रहे हैं।
No,
सुबह स्क्रीन दिख रहा है।
yeah, screen दिख रहा है।
मैम दिख रहा है नाम।
क्या?
Ma'am, it's totally visible.
हाँ, totally visual.
देखिए आपके एंड से कुछ प्रॉब्लम होगा।
सुबेरदा आप ये कीजिए ना, चेक कीजिए एक बार।
Just 1 second.
सुबेरदा
अभी विजिबल हुआ?
सुबेरदा
हेलो,
Ma'am, it is visible to us.
it is visible.
No, only Subir Nandi cannot see.
अच्छा, हम फिर से स्टार्ट करते हैं, 1 मिनट।
Ma'am, I guess it's not a problem from your end, but from their end. Like they'll have to adjust. Because the screens are visible.
I think problem is from that side only.
Who's speaking, Shivam?
Subirda,
Pardon? किसको दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है?
only Subirda.
सुबीर, देखो अपने एंड से कोई प्रॉब्लम हो, क्योंकि हमने तो शेयर कर दिया. इट इज शोइंग आल्सो you are screen sharing.
He's not listening. I think he's trying to do something. Subirda.
Yeah, I'll stop sharing, then again I'll start. Okay. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am, मेरा हमको दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है.
सुबिरदा कुछ चेक कीजिए उसमें गड़बड़ है.
हाँ, हम लीव हो रहा हूँ मैम.
अच्छा.
Sir,
Can
I
you
think
drop off and join again?
आप चश्मा पहना है ना?
excuse me, Mr. Subir's audio is not connecting. That's why he's having these troubles.
There's some problem from his end.
Yes, ma'am.
What can I do about it?
Mr. Subir, you must first connect yourself with the audio in the meeting. Then only you will be able to hear anything. Otherwise, there's whatever is going on, it's already in vain for you.
Just one second.
Subir, just leave and join once again. You'll be okay with it.
He has left now.
He has left.
Once again he has joined, but problem is same as past.
He should unmute.
Subirda.
His camera is off.
Yes, camera is. Subirda. दिख रहा? Hello. Now you are able to see. Hello. Hello, Subirda.
Okay, I'll send him the PPTs later on.
Okay, man. You start.
Operations management is the management of one's employees and resources. Every department of one's business has a particular set of goals. For instance, human resource aims to hire qualified employees. Marketing.
Yeah. I think आप लोग क्लास चलने दें. सुबीर बाद में एडजस्ट कर लेंगे. ठीक है?
ठीक है, वही मैं कर रही हूँ.
आगे क्लास करिए because unnecessary.
इसमें तो
Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Yeah, please.
Okay. Operations management is the management of one's employees and resources. Every department of one's business has a particular set of goals. For instance, human resource aims to hire qualified employees. Marketing team aims to gain more sales and earn more profit for the company. Financial team looks after the financial matters of the company. As for operations management, it is in charge of maximizing the efficiency of one's company's resources. In other words, It wants to get the most out of one employees and resources in order to increase productivity for the company. This could mean having employees do more valuable work instead of a repetitive work. So whatever work they are doing, that has to be valuable, not just, so proper planning has to be done. Proper implementation has to be done. Minimum amount of wastage has to be done. An operations manager might decide to use technology as a way to do the repetitive work. See what is happening. As technology is improving, the repetitive work is being done by machines or computers. So human brain is used more for analytical work. Where the computer cannot think, the human can think. And they can use their brain to analyze and see the problems and to see how to do the work in the best possible way. That way, employees can work on something more valuable with their time. These are the kinds of decisions that an operations manager must take. So it is the duty of the operation manager to see that people are utilized. As far as possible, the human brain has to be utilized for making the right decision. For that, there are the resources, there are the machines which are going to help them. But the final decision has to be taken by the managers. So it is a set of activities that creates value in the form of goods or services by transforming input into output. For example, if you are making shirt, so from where the shirt comes? First you have to get, let us talk about the total supply chain. The first, you have to get the raw material like the cotton wool, cotton. Then that has been converted into cloth. Then the cloth, the cloth has then to be cut according to the whatever you are going to produce, whether you are going to produce shirt or you are going to produce dress. So some designing has to be done. What type of shirt you want, what type of dress you want. It has to be cut accordingly and then stitched and then sold. So you are transforming some input into output. Suppose you are running a hospital. Then over there, the input is what? The doctors, the nurses, the medicines, the medical tests, the patient, all these things are the input. And your objective is to cure the patient. You're using all these input to cure the patient. So a patient comes and output is what? A cured patient. The patient is cured of that particular disease. So here the transformation is that. Everywhere in operation, some transformation is there. Either it is good or services, some transformation. For example, a university, it transforms the students. They are their raw material. They are transforming the students. There are so many inputs, the course curriculum, the teachers, the faculty, the administration, everything is the input they are getting so that they transform, the student is transformed from someone who does not have the knowledge of that particular area, and then after that he or she has the knowledge of the particular area. So inputs are what? Man, material, methods and money. Man, you can say women also, any human resource. Outputs are goods or services. It is the organization core function. So it is the, for this, you should always remember this is the core function. Other functional areas are for operations management. They are doing marketing for the whatever core things are being produced. They are doing the finance for producing that particular product or service. They are doing the HR for producing that particular good or service. in every type of organization. And this is true for any type of organization, big or small, manufacturing or a service, and profit or non-profit, whatever type of organization is, you are producing something, you are transforming something. That is the business. That is the core business of anything. So whatever you are doing, for that, whatever resources you need, whether it is man or material or equipment or capital, whatever you are using, and you're using those resources, but the objective is to produce that thing in the most effective and efficient way. So you can say input is what? Man, machine, method, money, information. This is being transformed. The transformation process takes place, and then you get output, either it is goods or services. So there's a loop from output, services, transformation to the transformation is giving you the output, and from the transformation is taking the input from man, machine, method, and money. And this is the feedback. So from they should get the feedback whether the goods or services are up to the mark or not. Whatever is the lacuna, suppose it is not of the desired quality, if that feedback they get, so they should take immediate measures to rectify that. So feedback is very important. Otherwise, you don't know if what you are doing is correct or not. Like if I don't get feedback from you, tell me something, you interact, ask me questions, then only I'll know whether you are understanding the course or not. Because anywhere you go, this is the core. You have to know how things are being transformed, how things are being transformed and made more useful. Some value has been added to it. It is not that you are just keeping one thing from one side to another side. It is not that. You are adding some value to it. So what is desired by the customer? As you have heard, customer is the king, or customer is the queen. It is for the customer. Everything is geared for him or her. So for that, you have to add value to your input so that whatever they desire, that is being given to them. For example, you take canned food processor. So inputs are what? Raw vegetables. It can be raw vegetables. It can be fruits also, whatever it is. Then metal sheet in which it will be canned, water, energy, labor, building equipment, all these things are the inputs. And then the processing starts. You have to gather the raw material, clean it, make cans, cut it, cook it, pack it, label it, and finally you get canned vegetables. It can be canned vegetables, it can be canned food, whatever it is. Some process has to. So from raw material, so you can see from raw material, you are going to canned food. So value has been added to it by this processing. So whatever so naturally the price also increases. This is a product. Then transformation process of a hospital. So what are the inputs? Doctors, nurses, hospital, medical supplies, equipment, laboratories. Then processing is, first the patient is examined, whatever is required, some medical tests are done, Then surgery, if surgery is required, surgery will be done, some monitoring will be done, some medication will be done, therapy will be given to, so you get a healthy patient. So from patient to healthy person. So this is the transformation which is taking place due to all this processing. So this is the operation. The operation over here is turning the patient into healthy people. Over there, the transformation from raw material or raw fruits and vegetables to canned and easily consumable product. There are various types of operation, like good producing, farming, mining. You have producing raw goods like fruits and vegetables, mining some ore, iron ore, or aluminium ore, or whatever it is. Construction, some building, some plant, manufacturing, power generation. So you are producing goods over here. Then you have storage or transportation operations, like warehousing where you are storing, trucking where you are transporting, mail services, transportation, delivery, again transportation, taxis, buses, hotels, airlines. Hotels, you can say you are storing the guests for some time. Airlines, again transporting people from one place to another place. Then exchange, like retailing. What is that? You are getting from wholesalers, then you are sending it to the consumer. So you are it is a place of exchange. Wholesaling from the supply and then selling it to the retailers. Banking, renting, leasing, library, loans. So these are the examples of exchange. Entertainment, films, radio and television, concerts, recording, all these are entertainment. Then communication, it can be both electronic media or non-electronic media. Like, for example, you read newspaper, you see radio and television, telephones also, you communicate with others. Today, the telephone has become the everything. You use it as a calculator, you use it as a torch, you use it as a communicating devices, you use it as for your business purposes, everything. Newscasts, satellites, all these are communication. So there are so different types of transformation process. Physical is manufacturing. Physically, you are changing it from one form to other form. Locational is transportation from one place to another place. Exchange is retailing. Storage is warehousing. Physiological is healthcare. Informational is telecommunication. Psychological is entertainment. It is giving you psychological satisfaction. By looking at you, you get refreshed. You are, suppose you are getting bored with your life, or you go to get some entertainment, then you are refreshed, then you start life anew. So all these things are giving you some core values, which is helping you in achieving your objectives. So there are basically two types of operation management decision. One is your strategic decision. That is long term. You plan today for what will you be doing in the future. It has broad scope. It is long term in nature. It is all encompassing. For example, say in 1992, I think so, when Tata Motors, they were only producing commercial vehicles. They started thinking of producing passenger vehicles. Apart from SUVs, when they thought of, that was the first thing which they launched was Indica. Why was that? Because for that, they got this feedback from the environment. You have to scan the environment and see what is the requirement, what people are waiting for. Because at that time, there were only two types of Indian four-wheeler, passenger four-wheeler. One was Maruti, another was Ambassador. And with both, people were not very satisfied. So they wanted something which was better looking and which was cheap also, not very expensive. So that was the long term. For that, they scanned the environment. They saw what are the opportunities in the environment, what are the threats in the environment, and then they looked at themselves. What are their own strengths and weaknesses? So you need a SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis, what? Strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So strength and weakness you see in yourself, and opportunities and threats you see in the environment. Suppose today, if you are going to start certain venture, so first of all, you have to see whether you have the required capability of producing that particular product or not, or giving that particular service or not. What is your strength? In which area you are good at? What you can do? Where you have, what are your weaknesses? So how can you overcome those weaknesses? First, you have to analyze yourself or your own operation. And then you have to see in the environment, because you are not working in isolation. You are working in some environment. So what is the requirement of the environment? Whether they require it or not. If they require it, in what form, what features they want for your product. So you have to see what are the opportunities. If there's no one producing that particular good, so naturally the opportunities are more. But if there are other people who are producing it, then naturally what will happen? You have to look at the competitors. You have to produce in a such a way that your product or service takes an upper hand. So you have to analyze all these threats and weakness, opportunities of the environment and your own weaknesses and strength, and then only you can make a long-term planning. For example, what are the unique features of our product that make us competitive? Something should stand out. Why people should buy your product? There are so many things in the environment. So you have to see how you make your product unique. So more and more people are attracted to you. And tactical decisions are narrow in scope. For fulfill that, suppose you, like I said, Tata wanted to produce this passenger car. To fulfill that, day-to-day work has to be done. What will be the design of the car? What will be the fuel efficiency of the car? What will be the look of the car? What should be the price of the car so that people can afford it and buy it? All those things. So what should be done daily or weekly? So it has to be narrow in scope, short-term in tenure, concerning a small group of issues. Naturally, over there, the different functional areas. Somebody will be doing the designing of the car. Somebody will be making the chassis of the car. So the finance department will be looking at the finances of the car. What are the finances required to produce the car? What are the finances required to pay the employees? What type of employees you want? What type of particular skills are required by the product you are, or service which you are producing? So all these things. So these are the short term or the tactical decisions. So both these things have to work together. The tactical decision will depend upon the strategic decision. Whatever you have thought about for the long term, that has to be taken care of by the short term decisions. Like for example, who will work in the second shift tomorrow? So this is tactical. what material will be required for tomorrow's production, what quality will be required. So all these are tactical decisions. So, whatever what we are experiencing today is not, which has evolved over time. Initially, we used to work with our hands. The things were being produced manually. Then the first was the early use of power. This is the industrial revolution which I have seen from the first industrial revolution which took place in Britain till then it moved to Germany, then it moved to Japan, then it moved to USA. So these are the type of changes we have seen in the industrial production. First, early use of power, which is known as the industrial 1. Then 2 is when we were doing mass production. In fact, why did Second World War and First World War happen? Because England has started producing in bulk. So it has become cheaper. But for that, they needed market. Then there were others also, they also needed that market. So they started fighting among themselves. And which led to First World War and then the Second World War. So marketing is very important. Whether you are, if you are not able to market it, you are not able to market it, you are not able to earn the profit which you require to run your business. For your own survival, for the survival of the people working in the organization. So marketing is very, very important. Then came computing and automation. Then came everything is now connected with everything. Now you must have heard the enterprise resource computing. So over here, all the area, you have different module for, say, HR. You have different module for finance. You have different module for marketing. Different module for front end jobs. Different module for back end jobs. But all these things are integrated together. Today we are talking about integration. And internet has helped us a lot in doing this. So things are being integrated. You know what is happening even in other functional areas, not only in own area, but also because whatever objective is of the organization, that is integration of everything, all the functional areas. If you don't integrate, you will not be able to achieve your objective. So integration is the most important thing. And for that, we have now integrated information system. Exactly what you know, how things are moving. So you know where do you stand. Significant events in operations management. First is your pre-industrial revolution. One of the first people to address the issues of operations management was the Scottish philosopher Adam Smith. All of you must have heard his name. He is also known as the father of modern economics. In 1776, Smith wrote The Wealth of Nations, in which he described the division of labor. Like, according to him, if you concentrate only on your own specialization, then you are able to do a much better work. Doing everything right from beginning to end, only one person is doing it, then it becomes cumbersome. According to Smith, if workers divided their task, then they would produce their products more efficiently than if the same number of workers each build products from start to finish. So division of labor. पहले क्या होता था, जैसे हम लोग जब हाथ से काम करते थे, look for example, you look at our kumhar, they select the mud, then they put water in it, make it malleable, then they give it a shape, then they cook it in a oven, then the final product is produced. So only one man is doing it. But in mass production, what happens? It is division of labor. Somebody is only looking after the collection of the input. Somebody is only looking at the different processes. For different processes also, there are different people looking after all the stages. It is not only one person looking from start to finish. The one person who is looking from start to finish is the manager, who's overseeing that things are working smoothly. The concept would later be used by Henry Ford with the introduction of assembly line. The Henry Ford came later than Adam Smith, and he was the one who used this concept when he started producing cars. And the concept of assembly line came into being. In assembly line, what happens? The product moves. The product moves, and as it is moving, things are being added to it. So everyone is doing his or her job. They're not doing all the jobs. But at the end, all the jobs are done and the things is being produced. Then came post-industrial revolution. During the industrial revolution, machinery allowed factories to grow in capacity and greatly increase their output. So naturally, the capacity of working, of what a human being can work, the machine can do more than that. That is why I said now it is the human brain power that is more required. Not your manual power, but your brain power is more required. Despite this growth, there was considerable inefficiency in production. But still it is evolving. That stage of efficiency had not come till then. Two individuals helped to overcome this inefficiency in the early 20th century. One was Frederick Winslow Taylor. You must have all heard the name of Taylor, and Ford. Ford, all of you must be familiar with this name, Henry Ford. Taylor developed a scientific approach for operations management, collecting data about production, analyzing this data, and using it to make improvements to operations. So you can see how now he is using brain power to develop a much more efficient and effective processes. That whatever you are producing is of better quality and at a cheaper rate. Ford increased efficiency in production by introducing assembly line production and improved the supply chain through just-in-time delivery. Wherever you required, things is there. So for that, you have to build the system. Just by saying just-in-time cannot be done. You have to build the system in such a way that whenever the material is required, it is there. Like there was a time, I know, when we were young. We were about your age. Even buying a scooter, it was not that you could just go to the shop and buy a scooter or a motorcycle the way you're doing today. Then you had to book it, wait for some time. Then it was delivered to you. And unless you could buy it in, because there was shortage of foreign exchange. So you had to wait. And if you were able to pay in foreign exchange, maybe the delivery was quicker. But gradually, people have worked on it and have brought the system to the present level. In spite of all the difficulties, a new set of difficulties have come. You solve one, another will come. That is life. But people have worked. Henry Ford, Taylor, all these people have made the production system very scientific and have brought in the efficiency and effectiveness in the production system. Then the post-World War II. Technological development during the Second War was created new possibilities for managers looking to improve their operations. As you must have heard, during Second World War, what had happened? There were two forces. One was the Allied forces and the other force were in with Germany, Russia and all were there. So Allied forces had much less resources than the other forces, but they used such techniques like a whole new branch of operations research developed during that period. What happened in that? Mathematicians, statisticians, economists, sociologists, all of them came together, and then they developed mathematical and statistical models to produce things in the most optimum way, best way, least wastage way. And this helped them to win the war. So these same operation research techniques are now being used by management, whether in their office work or in their production level. They're using these techniques to make it more efficient and more. They're using statistical quality, they're using linear programming, operations research to make the product in the most optimum way so that the least wastage is there. Specifically, the development of computational technology allowed for a greater degree of data to be analyzed by the firms. See, computerizations, first two things which it helps is in capacity, that the storage capacity has really tremendously increased, and the speed. Other things are repetitiveness. If you are doing the same thing over and over again, if a human being is doing, he or she might get bored of it and will start making mistakes. But a computer will not do that. Suppose I ask you to write, I am a good person. Just one simple sentence, I am a good person, 1,000 times. What will happen? After a certain time, you will get bored of it and you will start making mistakes. But if you give this command to a computer, it will do that because it is not using its brain. It is something which is being programmed of doing it. So data had to be, there was such a huge data, it has to be analyzed. So doing it manually was not possible. So computerization has helped in that. Repetitiveness, capacity, storage, speed, storage, repetitiveness. And one thing is, if you put in garbage, you'll get out of garbage. Because it will not analyze. What you have put in is not good, it is garbage. If your data is wrong, so naturally your result will be wrong. So you have to be very careful. What you are putting in, but you will get whatever you ever are putting in. And wherever the data can be quantified, it gives a better result. The abilities of computers have continued to increase exponentially, allowing for a high degree of data analysis and communication. So the abilities have, over the years, as you have seen it yourself, today you have artificial intelligence, you have machine learning, which is automatically it is doing so many things for you. When we had started learning computer languages, we were using what? Fortran, COBOL, which was procedure. You had to know the whole algorithm. Even if you want to write an array, either in an ascending order or a descending order. A huge program had to be written down. But today what? It is just a click. You don't even have to give this command. It is just a click and the procedure will be done for you. Modern producers are now able to track their inventory from raw materials through production and delivery because of the integration. How your raw material. Now, you, for example, you order a pizza or anything, any product. What will happen? You can track that order, where it has moved, whether it has come out from the place of production, it is on the way, whenever it is delivered to you. So all these things can be tracked because of the integration of information system. Pardon, what happened? Quality management system are popular in today's operations management. So today we are very much conscious about quality management. Quality management is a system for mapping, improving and monitoring operations processes. A variety of quality management systems are among top firms, the most notable system being the ISO, International Standard Organization Systems, and Six Sigma. Six Sigma means, like, if you have heard about normal curve. Normal curve, it is, just one second. It is something like this, normal curve. It is a symmetric curve. 50% lies on this side and 50% lies on this side. And mean median mode is at the middle and at the same. So you have mean, that is mu, and you have sigma, which is the standard deviation. Standard deviation is what? Variation. How much it is varying. Everything will not be of the same at the mean. There will be something which is away from the mean. So this is standard deviation. So about 99%, 99.73% lies between plus minus 3 sigma. 3 sigma. That is mu, here it is minus 3 sigma. Here it is plus 3 sigma. About 99 point. So now we are moving to 6 sigma. So there has to be least or no zero defect. The quality has moved to that particular level. This system aims to increase the efficiency of business processes. Although operations management has typically dealt with the manufacturing processes, the growth of service industry. So now we can see that is why initially this was known as production management, but now it is known as operations management, because they can see the same principles you can also apply to service industry. So this is the whole operation of doing the thing, whether you're producing goods or you're producing services. So same operations has to be used. See, operation is at the core. Finance collects data and analyzes financial performance of operations. Information technology manages communication of information. Human resource provides suitable staff, organization training based on the requirement of operations. Then you have engineering, assesses new technology and develop solution to problems. Then you have marketing, understands the capabilities and limitations of operations when specifying product, service, features, and design. Then you have research and development so that you can improve your product or service. Develop new product service based on the capabilities of operations. All these are due to operations. Because of these operations, you have all these functional areas, whether it is finance, whether it is information technology, whether it's human resource, whether it is engineering, whether it is marketing, whether it is research and development. All together, they are working at the operations of that particular, whatever your business is, whether you are producing goods or you are producing services. So all these different functional areas, they work together to produce that particular, whatever is the objective of the organization. Then there is a social responsibility of operations, because see, they are also a part of the organization, some environment. So they have certain responsibilities towards the environment. For example, I don't know, maybe there used to be an ad by Tata Motors long time back when it was only producing commercial vehicles. They showed that where it was initially situated only at Jamshedpur, Bihar. So they showed in their ad they were helping the rural people near Jamshedpur. They were doing so many social activities. At the end, they said, and we also produce vehicle. So at that time they showed, because that time it was not made compulsory by the government. Each organization will invest 2% of their earning into social responsibility. Now it has become mandatory. But initially, Tata started it. There are so many HR principles which Tata started it, and later on government copied it or implemented it in their organization. So the social responsibility of the operations has to be taken care of. Social responsibility for business include the long-standing Davis model of corporate social responsibility. These are social responsibility arises from social power. Business shall operate as an open system with open receipt of inputs from society and open disclosure, because they are taking so many things from the society. So they also have a duty towards the society. That is also one of their operations. They have to fulfill that duty towards the society in which they are working. The social costs and benefits of an activity, product or services shall be thoroughly calculated and considered in deciding whether to proceed with it or not. So what are the costs involved in it? What profit they are getting it? So these things have to be taken care of. So these are the social responsibility along with their core operations. Their operations should also be towards the social responsibility. Then ethics, doing the right thing. It is not that just because you have to sell something, you say anything about your product. Because ethics is something which has to be followed by everyone. If you want to survive in the market for a long term, because this will give you goodwill of the people. Ethics can be defined as the concern for good behavior. People feel an obligation to consider not only their own personal well-being, but also that of other human beings. You have to be ethical. You have to understand what others want, and you have to be truthful, transparent. This is similar to the perspective of golden rule. Do to others as you would have them do to you. In business, ethics can be defined as the ability and willingness to reflect on values in the course of the organization's decision-making process to determine how values and decision affect the various stakeholders groups, and to establish how managers can use these perspectives in day-to-day company operations. So, for example, suppose your organization is polluting the environment, to take measures to do something to overcome those pollutions. Either you take anti-pollution measures, or suppose you have cutting down, for example, you are cutting down trees, to plant trees. If you're cutting down one tree, plant 10 trees, so that it is sustainable. Sustainability of the environment is very, because you will be today, you won't be tomorrow, but your next generation will be there. They will also need those same raw materials. And if you overuse it, what will happen to them? So sustainability has to be there. So you have to be ethical in your operations. Ethical business leaders strive for fairness and justice within the confines of sound management practices. Actually, just now, I don't have any electricity. It is working on UPS. I don't know in how many seconds this would go. So I am ending this lecture. If you have any question, you can ask me. Hello? Are you listening to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have any question, ask me.
Yes, ma'am.
Because now any time, I don't know, because electricity these days are very dicey. It is working on UPS. I don't know for how long it will work on it.
It was a very informative class and we learned a lot. Thank you so much.
I did not get your question.
It's not a question. I'm saying it was a very informative class and we learned a lot.
Okay, thank you, beta.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm just stopping it because the UPS is also, I think it will.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you so
ma'am.
much, ma'am.
Okay, good night.
Good night, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good night.
Thank you, ma'am.
Nice to meet all of you, Anshaj, Shiva,
Nice to meet you too, ma'am.
Shashi,
It was our pleasure, ma'am.
and the new batch, of course. Nice to meet all of you. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good night,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Good night, ma'am.